Okay. So in the last class, we have started discussing about EDM or electric discharge machining process. I have discussed you about the configuration of EDM. Actually, we should not call only EDM, but there are some types of EDM. We will study everything. This is uh, if we say it properly, then it will be named as die sinking EDM, as a die will be always sinking in the dielectric. That's why it is known as dielectric die sinking EDM. Anyway, we'll continue yesterday's last day's class. So in the previous class, I have discussed you about the different components which are present in electric discharge machine, and I have also discussed that what is the function of each and every units or each and every components in EDM. Then we have also discussed about the working principle or the mechanism of material removal. In today's class, actually, day before yesterday, some of the students they raised some questions and they asked me that they had some doubt. Now, one by one, the complete procedure which I left in between last class, I will discuss once again, and then we will start learning about different process parameters and its ranges. So once again, I'll draw and explain. I hope that will be better. Okay. So I have said in last class that number one, we need to create some potential difference. Everybody note down these steps. Okay. So we are going to study the mechanism of material removal in EDM. Okay. So number one thing, we need to create some potential difference. I already discussed about it. Number two, I said we need to connect the tool with the negative power supply of the DC power source, and workpiece will be connected with positive power source of the DC power source. Okay. If I said that in most of the applications we use this, that means tool negative, workpiece positive. But it is not always true. In some cases, we make or we connect the tool with the positive terminal and workpiece with the negative terminal. Okay. So in some cases we do. If we connect the tool will with negative terminal and workpiece with positive terminal, so that will be called as straight polarity. And if in cases we use tool as positive and workpiece as negative, so that will be known as reverse polarity. Clear? Next, number three. This part I will once again discuss with you. Okay. That means there will be electric field establishment or electric field will be established. So here what happens, say we have got the shaped tool with us. And then we have got the workpiece, which is being machined. Okay. Now I mentioned in between you can find some gap. In between you can find some gap, and this gap is known as, or this gap is known as interelectrode gap. Interelectrode gap. Okay. Now here once again I am discussing the mechanism for those who did not understand in last class. So first what happens, that we will be using some conductive material. We are using conductive material as tool as well as workpiece. Okay. Now, as these are conductive, they will have sufficient number of free electrons. Okay. They will have, so these free electrons only will be moving from one place to another place, and then only electricity will flow or current will flow. So definitely they will have free amount of a sufficient number of free electrons. Okay. Then what we have to do? We have given some connection. Fine. So in this portion or in tool, we will have more electrons present or negative ions, and in the workpiece we will have more number of positive ions. And if these two are connected to each other, then we need not worry about completing the circuit or closing the circuit. But here we have maintained some gap, and this gap is filled with some dielectric. In last class I have already discussed many things about dielectrics. What are the different types of dielectrics we use, and why it is called as dielectric? What are the properties? Now, these dielectrics are chosen depending on its dielectric constant. Its dielectric constant. Okay, clear? So here we have established electric field. We have established electric field. Okay. Now, I said that inside we are keeping some dielectric material, and that is working as insulator initially. Okay. And that insulation will depend on its dielectric constant. Already in the previous class, I have discussed about it. Okay. Then next. So in this case, we observed that the tool and workpiece both are conductors of electricity. Okay, conductors of electricity. Then next, the fifth process. We have done all these activities, and because of that activity, there will be cold emission. There will be cold emission. What is cold emission? The meaning of cold emission, here I will draw once again and I'll explain. So this is tool and this is workpiece. So electrons will start emitted from this tool, okay, from various sides, okay. But all the time, the number of electrons which are being emitted will not be same. It will depend on many factors. Okay, so what is the dielectric constant? What is the material of tool? So depending on all these aspects, it will come, as well as how much charge you have given, okay, or how much electricity you have connected, or how much charge you have given. So depending on that, it only happens. That is called cold emission. That means electrons started coming out from the tool. Up to now, it is clear. Give some response.
Can you,
Anybody?
sir, can you repeat again cold emission?
Okay. So what is cold emission? Cold emission means, as I said, that this portion or this electricity, this tool is connected with the negative terminal. That means it will be negatively charged. What is the meaning of negatively charged? The number of electrons than protons present inside the tool will be more. And what is the meaning of positive charge? The number of protons or holes compared to the electrons which are present inside this body will be more. And that is what this is. That's why we have done it, positively charged and negative charge. Now, what will happen, that once we have connected, or we have given this connection, or with the power supply we have connected these two, what happens, always electrons will have the tendency to flow, and because of that it will start getting emitted from negative terminal to positive terminal, okay. So what will happen, from different sides, as this positive, or this workpiece will attract these electrons, that's why it will start flowing in this direction, or it will get emitted. So that emission is called cold emission, because in this case we are not at all heating the tool, okay, and automatically electrons are coming out. Because of that, if we are heating, okay, can anybody say, like a conductor, say, which is made of copper, okay, in low temperature the conductivity will be more, or high temperature conductivity will be more? Can anybody answer me?
At high temperature only, sir.
High temperature conductivity will be more, okay, yes or no? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You know about some equation, that V is equal to IR. Yes or no? Conductivity means it should flow sufficient amount of current. You know it or not? So I, it will be equal to R by V. Any doubt in this? Huh? Okay. So if R value increases, whether current will increase or not?
V by R, no, sir.
Oh,
I
sorry, this
equal
is V by R. Sorry, V by R. Yes. So if R value increases, I value will increase or decrease?
increases means I decreases, sir.
R increases means I will decrease. Everyone will say the same thing. Yes, from this formula. Okay. Now, you tell, if you increase the temperature of a conductor, okay, whether resistance will increase or decrease. Huh? If you increase the temperature of a conductor, whether the resistance will increase or decrease. Anybody? In your childhood you have studied that if you increase the temperature, the resistance also will increase. Or in any circuit, If resistance increases, temperature also increases. You know about filament, bulb filament, or heater coils? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then, so what happens there? We are increasing the resistance. Because of that, high heat is generated. So temperature and resistance both will increase. So if we are heating any conductor, resistance of the temperature will increase, and because of that, the current or I will decrease. So the flow rate will decrease. Okay. So here, if we are heating this, then this much electron will not come because the resistance power will increase. Got the point? Because of that, we have to depend on something called cold emission. So this is cold emission. I think now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, sixth step. Are you noting down all the steps?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Only you are replying. Remaining students are like statues. Okay. So after cold emission, what happens? So electrons have started moving. So some of the electrons or large number of electrons, what they will do, they will collide with the molecules which are present over here. Molecules of what? Molecules of dielectric medium. Okay. So the dielectric medium will have many molecules. So these electrons will collide with each other. Means collision of electron with dielectric medium. Okay. So this occurs after cold emission. So the electrons will collide with the ions or the medium of dielectric. Now, seventh one. Next, what happens? As the electrons will collide the molecules of this dielectric medium, what will happen? This portion or these molecules will become ionized. Clear? Because of the collision of electrons and all, these molecules will be ionized temporarily. Okay, or it will be ionized. So this is ionization of dielectric molecules. Okay, so this is about primary collision. Primary collision. After that, some more number of electrons will start moving because of the attraction between these two poles on these two sides, and because of that, secondary and tertiary collisions will take place. That means these molecules again will be moved, though those molecules will hit each other, and some collision will take place. Okay, it is something like one ball we have of red color. Okay, and you have got uh, one ball of red color, and you have got another one ball of blue color. So if this is hitting it, this ball will move, and it will strike some orange color ball. Okay. So what happens? So this is one molecule of the dielectric, this is another molecule of the dielectric, this is electron. So similarly, so some once this is hitting the one molecule, this is primary collision. Okay. So once this molecule is hitting this one, so this will be secondary collision. Once this molecule once again is hitting another one molecule of the dielectric, that will be called as tertiary collision. Okay. So what will happen here? After primary collision, secondary and tertiary collisions will take place. Okay. Okay. So once this secondary and tertiary collision takes place, so this portion will be always like it will be filled with energized, or you can say uh, this will be this portion will become very much energized with all the ions present in the dielectric. Okay, as well as it will be also filled with electrons. So as this portion is completely ionized, so what will happen? It will form a plasma channel. This portion is becoming one plasma channel. Okay, so what happens? Primary collision, and after that secondary tertiary collision, and after that what is happening? We are going to get plasma channel. Okay, so what happens once plasma channel we are forming, then more electrons can flow from this path. Okay, more electrons can flow from this path freely. And you know the velocity of electrons, it is very high, and that too is getting attracted by positive side or positive terminal or workpiece. And because of that, with high velocity, those electrons will come and strike on the surface of this workpiece, and because of that some spark will get generated. You take two stones and hit it very hard with high velocity. Okay, create some high impact. What will happen? Some spark you can will be generated. Similarly, if you have any conductive material or metals, then also if you hit those hard, you will be able to get some spark. So here also same thing is happening, and that spark will stay only for a few a while, maybe microseconds. Okay, and I said because of that spark what will happen? So ninth one is spark generation. Spark generation. Last class I already told you the difference between spark and arc and how it is maintained. Anyhow, next one I'll discuss. Okay. So after this generation of spark, the 10th one, what is happening? Impingement of the what is that electrons into workpiece. Okay. So electrons will be impinged on workpiece. So this is 10th one. Okay, clear? So I said after that we will be getting high temperature. Okay, or high temperature will be generated. High temperature generation. Okay, now high temperature is generated, then 12th one is what? Because of the high temperature, melting of workpiece material and vaporization. Melting and vaporization. Okay, so this is the last step of material removal. It is not like it is over or cycle is over or your work is over. Many other things also will happen afterwards. Okay, so till now what we understood, that this 12 step 1 to step 1 to step 12, everyone noted down? Everyone noted down? Yeah, noted down or not? Then I'll move forward to the next page.
Wait for 2 minutes, sir.
Okay then, right. You understood
Yes, sir.
completely? Upper part of page. So once again, I'm reading. Number one, potential difference. Okay. Number two, tool negative, workpiece positive, which is known as straight polarity. Then in this only, if we make tool positive, workpiece negative, that will be known as a reverse polarity. Draw these diagrams also, and also the part which I have written over here.
Sir, show full page, sir, once.
Uh,
Full page, once you show, sir, full page.
Full page means somehow I have to adjust the camera. Okay. It will be moving here and here. Up to here now you see, down. After that I will come down. In your exam, you may get 15 marks question from this. So you need to discuss step 1 to step 12, everything. Okay. And if you are discussing, as I have said, what is primary, what is secondary, tertiary, what is cold emission. Okay. So all these things, if you are mentioning or you are writing in details, nobody can deduct any marks. And moreover, I do not know what will happen in future. Maybe you'll be having this online or this multiple choice kind of or objective type of test. So if you are having objective kind of test, you need to gather more and more information. Okay. So you need to know each and everything in details. Otherwise, you never know what question will come from where. Writing descriptive type of answers are very easy compared to writing this objective kind of answers, and that's why most of the what kind of competitive exams right now are hold in this multiple choice basis or fill in the blank type, or many choices they will give, something like that. Okay, so I hope you have written down and you have drawn. Now I am coming down. Once it is over, just let me know. Then we'll move forward. Everyone over?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Okay. So now we'll move forward. So these many steps we have seen. Next one, which we are going to discuss is the process. Process variables. Okay. So in the last class, I have discussed something, but today I'll discuss that in details. What happens? There are many parameters or many open the process parameters. So I said if we consider the voltage and the current form or wave form, why we are discussing, because this is something very important. So here you everyone note down along with me. Okay. So this side here with this graph, we will be representing voltage in the y-axis and time in the x-axis. Similarly, in this graph also, we will keep current in the y-axis or along y-axis, time along x-axis. Okay. In last class, I have discussed that we will be supplying voltage for a certain time and then we will give a gap. Again, the voltage will be given for some duration and again we are going to give some gap. So this process will be continued. This process will be continued during the entire metal removal process. And I said that this voltage, this graph or this curve is rectangular in shape. But here in this case, I said that the current will not immediately start or it will be having some sort of lag. Okay. So this graph will be trapezoidal. Here also, everyone draw with me. Here we will get some lag and then it will come down here. Okay. Same will be continued. Okay. Now, what we call each and every parameter, especially here we are going to give some current. We are going to give some current. Okay. So, sorry, voltage, here voltage. So, we are initially providing some voltage which is represented by VO. We are supplying some voltage, okay, which is also known as open circuit voltage. So, what is VO? Is open circuit voltage. VO is open circuit voltage. Is it clear? But I have shown open circuit voltage here, but I have drawn the graph or drawn the curve up to here. So what is the difference between these two? The entire voltage which is supplied by you is not useful or not at all effective for generation of spark or for removal of material. That's why here to here, this much amount of voltage is required or is going to be used to generate spark, and that is indicated by VW. Okay, so VW is what? Working voltage. Okay, so when working voltage will come? When the spark is generated. When the spark is generated. Okay, clear? Now, you can find that the voltage is applied for a certain duration of time. What is the time called? That time is called as T on. T on. What is T on? T on is known as pulse on time. Okay, so pulse on time is the time for which the voltage is applied to the circuit, and it is the unit of this is in microsecond, not micron, microsecond. So maximum it can be millisecond, but no, where we use in milliseconds, we use in microseconds. That is pulse on time. Then we are giving some gap or for certain duration we are not at all supplying voltage. So that duration is known as T off. T off. Okay, everyone note down T off. So what is T off? T off is known as pulse of time, which also will be measured in microsecond or millisecond. Okay, is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? Have you noted down? Oh, now next. So this is about voltage. Now coming to current, we will be having some open circuit current, which is known as IO, which is denoted by IO. And here, as I mentioned, that we will be getting some delay or lag. It is known as lag or delay. This portion is known as lag or delay. And you can see once we have closed the circuit or we have stopped supplying voltage, still some current, okay, some current this flow. So this is known as overflow or over current. Okay, clear now? So I hope this part is clear to all. Okay, right. Now next I will be only telling you the different process parameters. In next class we will discuss everything and effect of all these process parameters in details. So next is what? Process parameters. Process parameters. So we have got many process parameters. As I have mentioned, number one is VO or open circuit voltage. A range for different metals or different materials, it will vary. It can range up to 80 volts. Then we have got VW, which is working voltage. Okay, so it can range from 50, 60 or 70, 75 volt. Then 40 also we can use this voltage. Then IO, working current or the maximum current, or it is called as peak current. Sometimes it is represented by IP also. Okay, then number 4, we have already studied about T on. Then number 5, I have discussed about T off or pulse off time. Okay, clear? Then one more thing, say the tool is here and we have got the workpiece over here. So I said inter-electrode gap. Okay, so inter-electrode gap can be represented by delta. Okay, clear? Or it can be also known as spark gap. So sixth parameter we got what? A delta. Seventh parameter, whether we are using straight polarity or reverse polarity. Whether we are using straight polarity or reverse polarity. 8. Okay. Dielectric medium. Dielectric. Which dielectric you are using? What is the dielectric constant of it? Okay. Then ninth one. Ninth one is we are using some sort of nozzle in order to flush away this debris of which are coming out after vaporization. Okay, so what is the flushing rate? What is the rate of flushing? So these are some parameters. Then also it depends on material which you are using. Okay, So process parameters which will influence the output responses. What can be the output responses? It can be material removal rate, it can be surface finish, it can be surface irregularities, it can be like a different kind of form errors. Okay, so it can be many things which we can find out. Okay, it can be diametral overcut, any of those things in next class I'll be discussing. Okay, now one thing which I told you that I'll tell. So here we are causing flushing. We are flushing that same dielectric. What happens once we are doing that? Here, whatever plasma was formed for a few microseconds or some microseconds, that will be flown away along with the debris. Okay, along with the debris which has come out from the workpiece surface. So what will happen then? A fresh layer of dielectric will come inside. Okay, and that fresh layer of dielectric once again will work as insulator. Okay, and then again means that time anyhow T off will be going. That means we will not giving any, give any pulse, so that we will not be having cold emission kind of activities. Okay, so that is how continuously or cycle by cycle things will go on. Okay, now if any of you have any doubt from today's topic, so you can feel free to ask me. Remaining topics we will continue in the next class. So have you noted down those process parameters and the graph?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you understand?
1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Routing.
Okay, no problem. You can write. Okay. So how many of you understood at least 70% of today's class? Is there anybody? Okay. Anybody
Repeat, sir.
else? You also understood. Wow. Good to hear. All the recorded links, this class recorded links, not starting from the beginning, at least from last four classes, I have started taking in home from home, and all the videos are recorded. So these links will be kept in a Google Docs, and that will be kept in the Google Drive. Okay. So someone was asking that day, Monish was asking some videos or links, so that I'll be providing them, so that later you can go through these topics. Okay, you can find some differences in what I am teaching here and what notes I have provided. Okay, but I feel if you are listening to the classes, you can understand things easily. Over. Okay, so uh, so today's class I am ending here. Okay. So next topic we'll discuss in the next class. Vinod sir.